Hello, my name's Oakley from Bristol Caravans. Today we're going to talk about a fault that is found, not commonly, but it is found on motorhomes. You might have this problem, you might have found this problem. In this case, the fault has been found during a service. It's reverse polarity. It's reverse polarity in the vehicle, and today we're in a 2017 Burstner. The worrying thing is it's a 2017 Burstner and today is 2021, so this vehicle's gone through a PDI, 2018 service, 2019 service, 19 and a 2020 service. So there's been 4 opportunities for somebody to pick this fault up. So today I'm going to show you the fault and then we'll start the repair process to rectify it. During the service we check for correct polarity in the vehicle, and if you zoom in now you'll be able to see the socket tester, something you can buy, a DIY piece of equipment, always handy to have on board. A correct test should be 3 lights with this particular tester. On this tester it's showing 1, indicating reverse polarity. I'll just fit the more sophisticated tester that we use. It's going to be a little bit more noisy. Again, this tester is indicating reverse polarity with a bit more bells and whistles, does a lot more tests, but this is what we will be doing during the service. Okay, before we can finish our tests inside, we just want to do a double check. And this is a really handy check for you as a caravan or motorhomer to do, and these are the tools that will be really useful for you to keep on board. A standard household socket tester and a converter, 3-pin to square pin, so that you can see, you can connect to a post in a site field or farmer's field. So imagine you're in that field now. Let's go across to the socket. The first test is to attach your tester to the adapter and then plug the adapter into the socket. And I'm guessing you can see we've got 3 solid lights, indicating that the electric at the source is good. If you ever phone us and say you've got an electric problem, that's 230 volt mains electric problem, the first thing we're going to ask is, have you got good power at the source? If you haven't, then go see the site manager and have a chat about that. Okay, next job, check the lead. Okay, the lead is now fitted to the socket. Let's go to the other end by the motorhome. We have a test lead on here with a live loop. I'm just mentioning that because you might say it's different colours. It's just a test lead. So now I'm going to take my tester, put it into the lead. Again, we've got 3 solid lights, so we know we've got good power up to this point. When we plug it into the van, we know we've got a fault in the van. This indicates that the fault is between this socket and the sockets inside the vehicle. Same for a caravan, same for a motorhome. The usual point for this fault is in the wiring loom connecting into the consumer unit. So let's go inside and have a look at that once I've connected this back up. Hello, we're back inside the vehicle now. So as you remember, we tested outside and we've tested inside. We know there's a fault in the vehicle. So where's the consumer unit? Well, on this particular vehicle, it's hidden away under a bed. So I'll just point at it down here. So this is the consumer unit. Hope you can see that. What we're going to do, because this type of consumer unit is it's very basic, but it's often fitted by the European manufacturers. So we're going to upgrade this to a better type of system because the customer is also experiencing some tripping out faults as well as the reverse polarity. So our process is going to be remove this box and we're going to fit a UK specification consumer unit. On this particular consumer unit we'll have an RCD, which is the residual control device. That's your safety button, and if that trips you probably need to speak to an electrician or a qualified person because there's a fault somewhere in the vehicle. And you've got MCBs and we'll be wiring these so they're specific to various circuits. If these trip, it's usually because the circuit is overloaded. Perhaps if it's on the socket side, it might be too many appliances plugged in, deep fat fryer, hair tongs, hair dryer, water heater and an oil filled radiator, and then this will trip. If this trips, then disconnect all of the appliances, reset, and then you can fit or reconnect one appliance at a time. If the RCD trips, that's a fault and you need it to be looked at. Okay, so let's just have a quick look inside and have a gauge this job and see what it's going to be. So I'll put this down and we're going to take off the cover. I've already undone it earlier, so you can see there is the RCD, a very simple device, but that isn't giving us all of the wiring. To give you a better idea of the wiring we've got to sort out. So we've got lots and lots of cabling coming in. It's then taken down to a single cable in through an RCD. What it should actually have is one cable coming in, which is going to be this one, so that's still good, so that's our cable coming in, and then we're going to have multiple cables going out to various appliances. So the job is now work out this cabling, fit a new consumer unit, wire it correctly. That will overcome our reverse polarity issue on the sockets, test the whole system, and then fit the furniture back together again. We'll talk about this once the job's a bit further down the line. We've now stripped the final part of the furniture and you can now see the extent of the wiring. So there we go, somewhere in there we've got a reverse polarity fault, and from there we will now wire up the new consumer unit. Let's just have a look at the finished job. It's hidden under the bed, so we'll just lift this up. And then down underneath here, if you can see it, we've now got a new consumer unit with both, you can't really see it from there, but RCD and MCBs. So nice and tidy, back where the original one was, but now we've got separate RCDs and MCBs, which is aligned to UK regulations. Fine, we've now come to the end of the job, so this is just the wrap up and a quick overview. We found a fault inside the wiring of the connection of the hookup cable, so that was wired incorrectly. This type of fault would be picked up on something called an EICR report, sometimes called a PIR, which is due every 3 years on a maintenance schedule for either a caravan or motorhome. We carry out that work. If you ever want to have a chat about it, we can explain more about what's involved. As part of the final checks, we're going to go around the vehicle to make sure all the sockets are working correctly. This is the outside socket on this particular vehicle, and it's a German build, and the manufacturers have left a European plug type on it. So we've got a converter, we've got our friendly tried and tested socket tester. So when we plug in, we've got 3 lights indicating all is well. Okay, we're doing the final wrap up now. So we've looked at an issue with the 230 volts system on this particular motorhome. Same principle applies if you're a motorhome, caravan or camper van. If you've got an issue with your 230 volts, either speak to your local dealer, which is if you're across the UK, or if you're in the Bristol area, we'd love to help. The best way to reach out to us is via our website, which is bristolcaravans.com. Email and telephone is listed there. We request that you book a slot to come in and see us so that we can give you the time that you deserve to have a look at the fault. Once we've diagnosed the fault, we can then talk about what the rectification process is. If you need an EICR report, again, we'd love to help. Reach out to us and we'll book you in. Thank you very much for watching.